Thank you for joining us today. My name is Dr. Gerald Spencer, and I'm an adjunct instructor here at Key West University. Today's presentation will cover data governance, and it's just going to cover the basics. This is part one of two presentations. So the topics that we'll be covering is what is data governance, the characteristics of data governance as an asset, key features of data governance, technology applications, and we'll wrap it up with a conclusion. So how long has data governance been in existence? The application era started around 1960 to about 1990, primarily to support transactional business processes such as balancing ledgers. Then there was the enterprise era that ranged from around 1990 to 2010, which organizations began to recognize the value of data beyond transactions and by building data warehouses to utilize the benefits of large batches of information. Then from about 2010 to the present, well, this era is considered mostly the policy era, in which data initiatives have become a focal point. So what is data governance? According to Abraham, Van Broek, and Schneider, they suggested data governance refers to the exercise of authority and control over the management of data. The purpose of data governance is to increase the value of data and minimize data-related costs and risks. Otto suggested data governance is defined as a company-wide framework for assigning decisions-related rights and duties in order to be able to adequately handle data as a company asset. So I say all that to say, what is just a simple definition of data governance? And all it is a set of guidelines how people behave and make decisions about data. Data governance and master data management. So what is the difference? Master data management is a process to link critical data to a familiar point of reference. Many times, data can become duplicated and out of date. What companies need to do is to keep data definitions up to date so all aspects of the business can use information. So why is it important? It drives for greater accuracy and consistency of the data, which will allow a company to use the data as a competitive advantage and reducing waste. It synchronizes the information and the organization's information chain. Data governance is a more formalized process for how people make decisions in reference to how analyzing their data. Data governance creates the rules and the adjudication of the operational process. Critical data governance characteristics. Data governance is more about behavior and people rather than just data. It requires a system that promotes a shared agreement, formal and written, contributes to the value of the institution, and supports the goals and missions. Data governance is not an IT responsibility. Data governance isn't solved by technology. So data governance as an asset. Data is one of the most valuable resources according to The Economist. So let's think of Facebook for a second. They have a plethora of data, including your username, your access points, things you click on, things you may like, things that you may follow, things that you comment on, and they all have a trending of what you do. And all that becomes very valuable. All that data can be sold. So data governance in banking, and I'm using banking as an example of just a small formalized process. But data governance has played a key role in banking. Someone applies for a mortgage. That data is stored into the bank's loan operating system. All of the customer's personal details are entered. Their date of birth, their address, their social security. As the process continues, several different departments come into contact with your data. To ensure the transaction moves from one entity to another accurately, to facilitate a smooth process, executives draft a policy and a procedure of how to govern a customer's data. The bank's IT department, who handles the infrastructure, and then you have stewards who ensure this policy is being conducted per the written policy and procedure.